But okay, BG, then we'll keep it moving and we'll
Hmm.
go to where there was an interim featherweight kickboxing championship match. Masaki Noiri defeating Taiwan Shire by third round TKO. I was shocked. If you go back to the live stream, you'll see the evidence is right there. I was completely in shock, bruh. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I
Love it.
was absolutely certain Taiwan Chai was going to get the job done. Yeah, I just thought he had too much star power. But fair play to Masaki Noiri coming out there, putting on a great performance in front of the home crowd, and fair play to the Japanese fighters in general.
Yeah.
They went really well in the night. Um, so yeah, BG from your side, bro. What can you tell us here?
Yeah, just to add to your surprise as well, hey, the Chowdhury came out and said that Masaki Noiri was actually the 12-1 underdog in this fight.
Yeah,
The entire world, everybody didn't give him a single chance to win it, and not
insane.
which is mad because he's a two division K1 champion. So there's like, and they're fighting in kickboxing, right? So one thing that I noticed from the moment of the first round started, Tawan Chai did not look comfortable in those big gloves. I didn't. When I watched Tawan Chai very closely, I watched his debut in the one championship, and I watched every fight of his since then, right? When Tawan Chai fights Muay Thai, there's an order about him that you can see it even the way that he carries his stance. He even looks different when he's fighting Muay Thai. He looks like you are not on my level, no matter who he's fighting against. He's like, I'm going to beat you. We fought Superman twice, and he won both those fights. You know what I mean? One kickboxing, one Muay Thai. And he looks like he's just got this unbeatable aura about him. But in this fight in particular, AD, Tawan Chai really looked uncomfortable for me. And it's not an excuse. I'm not making excuses here. I'm actually happy that no ED won. But Tawan Chai did not look the same kind of fighter when he's fighting in the smaller gloves. And you could see it the way he throws his combos. He does everything with good technique, but he's doing it. He almost did it in a way that he just wanted to bear. I don't bear, he just wanted to manage the fight. He was managing the fight because everything that he was throwing at Noiri, he didn't really discourage Noiri at all. He threw one team kick that took him off his legs, right? And he threw some hard left kicks to Noiri's arms, but he checked that quite nicely. He checked a lot of Tawan Chai's low kicks as well, and Tawan Chai threw some hard ones. But Tawan Chai never looked like he was the elusive striker that he is. And I did say he was in a fight of the counter strike position, which is what he did throughout the fight. He was fighting counter strike quite often. That's because Noiri was walking him down, literally like wasn't even scared of what Tawanchai was throwing at him. Noiri just kept the eye guard up, blocked everything, and every time Tawanchai would throw something or move back, you will see Noiri throw a very hard low kick, and Tawanchai wasn't liking those low kicks. The calf kicks was making Tawanchai almost re-strategize how he's going to come in, how he's going to press forward. And when do you ever see that happen to Tawanchai? Where he's getting calf kicked and he doesn't know how to get around it. Ilya was doing exactly that. And you could see the different styles. You got the one guy that you can see is a Muay Thai practitioner at first base and looked uncomfortable in that ring, whereas the other guys is through and through a kickboxer. You can see, Ilya was even the way he guarded some of the punches from Tawan Chai was very different to what you normally see. It wasn't like he was and then he walked forward. It's almost like he was moving Tawan Chai's arms out of the way when Tawan Chai would throw a punch, and it looked very comfortable. And I remember I told you about the Kyokushin fighters that like to fight inside that void. They close down and they stay here on you the whole time. You'll watch that fight back. Like I said, I watched it back twice. Iri stayed into that void. He basically took away the opportunity for Tawan Chai to throw any roundhouses or any of Tawan Chai's special moves. Iri just didn't give him a space to do it and stayed in close because then he could just throw his hard calf kicks from there, maybe a step in knee, and then box a little bit better. And I mean, he threw a right hand at the end of that second round that almost dropped Tawan Chai. You could see Tawan Chai's face went lit up and he completely went into a clinch to hold Iri just to kind of survive that last 10 seconds. And then you could see at the end of that round, when Iri walked back to his coach, he just nodded. His coach was like, I think I got this man. I got him now. And he did exactly that in the third round. Ding, ball goes straight into that void, walking down into the ropes and let his hands go. And I think that one try got rocked very hard in the second round because he didn't look like he could do anything in the third round to actually move away from it. Because he just walked him down that wall and threw a left hook at wall and a beautiful combination to stop the fight. And yeah, you got to give that one shot to lose the fight still standing. You're not going down to the ground. He got dropped hard, but he made it up and got TKO'd on his feet. But big ups to Noiri. I thought that he looked bigger, more powerful. He looked fuller than Tawan Chai. And like I said before you and I started recording the episode, I was surprised that Tawan Chai lost, but I also didn't feel completely shocked. Like I wasn't like, oh my sake, like what the fuck just happened? Like how is this
Mm.
even possible? It's more like, geez, yo, this Noiri is actually what they say he is. That's what my response was to the fight because the build-up was really hyped up to be actually more of a dedicated fighter than Tawan Chai. So, you know, yeah, the proof is now in the pudding.
Absolutely, BG. But yeah, fantastic performance here from the man on the night. Um, any idea for the next fight for him, bro? Who does he defend his title against?
So I personally said immediately after the fight that he should get Superbon just because of logistics, really, and fairness. This is was an interim title fight, and the actual title, the actual champion in this division is Superbon. The only reason why Tawan Jai took this fight is because he couldn't get Superbon again immediately after beating him in Muay Thai. So it was like he wanted Superbon's, and Superbon was like, I'm taking the time off. What's up? So that's how they made this fight interim fight, and they gave it to the next best guy, and that was Noiri, and Noiri won. So I personally feel like Noiri should get the fight against Superbon to unify the title. If not, give him Gregorian because Gregorian is the next ranked, best ranked guy to fight, and he was supposed to fight against Kaito Uno, and Kaito Uno didn't make the fight. So there we go. But Gregorian is the next best guy. But I personally feel like they're going to give it to Superbon.
Yeah, that would make the most sense. I mean, it was an interim title fight, so it does make sense for him to just unify the belts, get that out the way, and then possibly have Gregorian fight the winner of that fight, maybe.
Exactly.
But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you have any thoughts on that one, let us know in them comments. BG, any final thoughts from you on this one?
Bampara Koyate. He's on a win streak and he took out the former champs. So I think Bampara Koyate could also maybe put his name in the hat there, to be honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Interesting times in the featherweight division there, bro. But let us know in the comments your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen.